Interesting how in my Gmail, Google is systematically throwing this notice of class action against Google into spam. So please go check your spam. And this was Sunday, October 27th. I just happened to go and look in my spam. I very rarely ever do. And anyways, I was just talking to somebody about this today. This is a class action lawsuit. It says, if you have previously had either the Google Web and App Activity Control or the Supplemental Web and App Activity subsetting turned off or paused, you could be included in an ongoing class action lawsuit. There are so many different things that they have been doing when it comes to our phones. Anyways, a federal court authorized this notice. This is not a solicitation from a lawyer. And then it has the link you can follow. What is the lawsuit about? 4 Google account holders, plaintiffs, filed a class action lawsuit alleging that Google unlawfully accessed their devices and data. Oh yeah, they've been accessing our devices already. Just such as, for example, on YouTube, if you're a content creator, they're accessing your contacts to see if they've been like demonetizing channels, even big channels. There's been a lot of complaints about people demonetizing their channel, claiming invalid traffic, which they say in a warning explaining invalid traffic is that, like giving an example, that friends and contacts watching your videos or playlists. It's like, yeah. So if you are a content creator, they've been spying on your contacts. And they're viewing whether or not they're viewing your videos. It's just absurd that they think they can just do that. But anyways, and then when you get a notice about a class action about them accessing your devices and data, it automatically goes to your spam filter. Anyways, even though the Google activity control is called Web and App Activity, the WAA, and or a subsidy concerning Chrome history and activity from sites, apps, and devices that uses Google services, sometimes called the Supplemental Web and App Activity, were turned off or paused. Well, they were accessing it anyways. And this is what I explained to somebody today, that even though you can turn settings off, they still have access to your stuff. And that's what they've been doing. So plaintiffs allege Google unlawfully accessed their mobile devices to collect, save, and use the data concerning their activity on non-Google apps that have incorporated certain Google software code into the apps. Plaintiffs have 3 legal claims. 1, invasion of privacy. Oh yeah. 2, intrusion upon seclusion similar to invasion of privacy. And 3, violation of the Comprehensive Computer Data Access and Fraud Act. Oh, it's just begun, guys. There's so much stuff they've been doing. But anyways, for all 3 legal claims, plaintiffs seek money damages and changes to Google's practices. Google denies plaintiffs' legal claims. It does not admit any wrongdoing. The court has not decided who is right. You are receiving this notice because Google records indicate that you may be a class member. The court decided the legal claims brought by plaintiffs can proceed as a nationwide class action. You may be included as a class member if you had have or had these settings turned off or paused at any time between July 1, 2016 and September 23, 2024. This notice only advises you of the existence of this lawsuit, your rights and options, and the deadlines to exercise them if you are a class member. More specifically, the court certified the following classes: comprehensive computer data access and fraud. For the alleged violation of that, the court certifies the following classes. Class 1, all individuals who, during the period from July 1, 2016 through September 23, 2024, had their web and app activity and or supplemental web and app activity turned off, and whose activity on a non-Google branded mobile app was still transmitted to Google. From C, a mobile device during the Android operating system because of the Firebase Software Development Kit, SDK, and or Google Mobile Ads SDK, which pretty much it's pretty standard. Like when you get your phone, you turn the ads off, your ad activity. All individuals who, during the period between July 1 and September 23rd, had their web and activity and supplemental web activities turned off, and whose activity on a non-Google branded mobile app was still transmitting to Google. For the alleged invasion of privacy, intrusion upon seclusion legal claims, the court certified the same Class 1 and Class 2, but excluded individuals who only have an enterprise account or a supervised Google account, like if they're under 13. Class 1, all non-enterprise, non-unicorn individuals who during the period had their web activity and ad activity turned off. I always have my web activity turned off. First thing I do when I get a phone. All non-enterprise and non-unicorn individuals who during the period beginning July 1, 2016 and continuing through September 23rd had their web and app activity and or supplemental web and app activity turned off, and whose activity on a non-Google branded mobile app was still transmitted to Google from a mobile device running a non-Android operating system because of the Firebase SDK. Is any money or benefits available? No. Not now. Of course not decide whether Google did anything wrong. And plaintiffs and Google have not settled the lawsuit. Guys, if they get by with this, if you turn stuff off and they still access your stuff anyways, and they get by with this, like, we need to pray that they're held accountable. That's not acceptable. What happens if I do nothing? You will remain a class member if plaintiffs obtain money or benefits from this lawsuit. As a result of trial settlement, you may receive a payment or benefits in the future. I got a check from a big AT&T. I think I saved it just to show how ridiculous it was. These lawyers get all this money. It literally was a check for a nickel. I'm like, that's why opt out if you want to sue them individually, because all these lawyers, they get the money. They settle. You don't have any control over this. So here's the number right here. And you can also access Pacer. Of course, it costs if you access stuff through Pacer, but I think it's like $1 a page. But here's the phone number: 855-822-8821. Anyways, thought I would share that. Go check your spam box and click this link. It's Rodriguez versus Google LLC. There it is. Anyway,